On the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. So come on, baby, show what you worth. Make 'em know. Hey! Well, it's, was it Sunday? February 13th? Day before Valentine's Day. And if you haven't checked out my Valentine's Day apocalypse videos, you're already too late and you probably already wasted your money, and it's just a rough time for you. Anyway, this one's for the February 18th IBF welterweight title fight between Jan Zaveck and Paul Delgado. What is this, the morning or something, man? What's going on? Anyway, in this video, I'm going to go over both fighters and then give my prediction at the end. And maybe even throw in some betting odds or something. I don't know. People have been asking about them. Hey, give us some odds. I don't know why you want to bet on fights anyway. I hate losing money. Okay, first we'll start with Paul Delgado. He's the challenger in this, obviously. He's, 25-9-1 with 4 knockouts. So basically he makes Paulie Malignaggi look like Mike Tyson. He's got like less than 11% knockout ratio. It's horrible. He's 5'10", so that is tall for a welterweight. He has that going for him. He lost to Malignaggi, by the way. I don't know. They both got in there, and there's a lot of air being thrown. Now, he's ranked 134th in the world by BoxRec. And I know people are like, well, BoxRec isn't that real. Well, I found him to be pretty consistent. And how he's getting a title shot is amazing. And that's something I'm going to start bringing up. I'm going to try and do all the title fights I can. The main ones, not the silver ones. But if it's fighters that people are interested in, I'll do them. But he's 134th. What is wrong with boxing anymore? How does a guy that's ranked 134th in the world get a title shot? Anyway, he's been knocked out by every B to B plus fighter he's ever went up against. Dan Long knocked him out. Demetrius Hopkins knocked him out. Who else knocked him out? Said Quali knocked him out. He got spanked by Dimitri Salita as well. These are all, his chin is bad. He's been knocked out to the head. He's been knocked out to the body. He's lost, here's what it is when you think of him, if you've ever seen fighting. He's that really good club fighter that you go downtown to see your local fighters fight, and he usually wins those because those are 6 to 8 round fights. But the reality is he's 2-5 in fights that have went 10 rounds or more, and he's been knocked out 4 times in those 5 losses. Okay, one of his other losses, because you're like, well, he's lost 9 times. The loss to Malignaggi was 8 rounds. So when you start looking at this, his stamina has to come into question. He's only had 2 12-round fights, and he was knocked out in one of those. So, I mean, he's made it to the end, but I don't want to keep bagging on him. He's got a good work rate. He shows some head movement in there. He works the head and body with his combos and stuff. He'll go up high and then just drop low, and throw his stuff. He gets a bit wide, and he tends to lunge with his punches, which is going to mess up his footwork. His stance will get too wide, and he can get caught with that. He throws wide rights instead of straight rights. So pretty much every right hand comes out, and it's just a little bit too loopy. If he tightened it up and fired straight shots in, he might be able to actually do a little bit better for himself. So when you start looking at that, you're like, oh, if you could only got to him earlier in his career, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's 34 years old, so I don't think he's really concerned with getting that much better, and stuff like that, but could have done something, man. Anyway, going over to Jan Zaveck, he's 30-1. The O is his draws. He's got 17 knockouts, 53% knockout ratio, which is not too bad there. He's the champ. He's 5'7.5". He's not huge for a welterweight, but he's not small, freakishly small for a welterweight. He doesn't have the big KO power, but looking into it, 5 of his knockouts have come to the 10th round or later. So his stamina is excellent, and he applies a constant pressure. He's constantly coming forward. He has a very good work rate. He's not 100 punches around like Paul Williams, but he's aggressive enough, and he throws about 60 punches around to keep you very honest. He can land a lot of shots. He throws good combos, and he works the head and body as well. He keeps a high D, and I'd like to look at him. When I watched him, I was like, wow, this is what Arthur Abraham kind of looks like, only this guy throws more punches than Abraham. You know what I'm saying? He starts earlier. He constantly keeps the pressure. He constantly throws because he keeps that nice high D up in there. I mean, not just straight armed. I mean, he's, you know, anyway. No real top fighters on his record that he's beaten, although he did beat Isaac Fleischwell. He beat Nate Campbell, so at least that guy had some legit wins, and he wasn't the favorite in that fight when he beat him. So when he beat him, you know, that was it. As I said, he's got a high D. He has some nice head movement. He's open to counters because he tends to pull back slow. I mean, when he throws the punches, they got good speed, but when it goes out, it takes a little bit of time to get back, and he can get countered if he was fighting somebody that could do that. He tends to struggle with boxers. In his the Jakowicz fight, you could see that. I mean, he had lost to him split decision and then won a majority decision the last time they fought. It was a great fight, and if you haven't seen it, that's a very good ebb and flow fight. Both fighters with high D, good Ds, taking their turns, going back and forth, going at each other and stuff like that. He throws with a lot of aggression when he does, and he puts a lot of power behind his jab too. It's not just a feeler jab. He's hammering it out there and trying to, you know, make your face a little flat. And as I said, you know, he's got the great stamina. So looking at this fight, obviously, I don't think it's going to go the distance, even though he's only got a 53%. Look at the things, you know. I mean, he carries his power late. He still has it. He's knocking out quality opponents late. So, not top. I just said quality. And I think this will be a KO probably around the 9th round. Could be earlier. You just don't know about these. These are the ones where he can knock him out as early as the 5th. I just don't see it going the distance. I do see a knockout by the 9th round. Betting wise, people are always like, whoa, why don't you throw out some odds? And I was like, okay, I'll throw out some odds. If you bet $1,700 on Zaveck to win the fight, you're going to win $100. No, they won't just hand you $100. I mean, you'll get $1,800 back, but you'd have to bet $1,700 to win $100. You feel me on that? So if you bet $17, you're going to get back $18. So, you know. And there's no, like, over-under on it either. Vegas is like, we ain't even touching it, man. And if you bet on Delgado, and Delgado performed a miracle, if you put $100 down, you're going to win $800. He's 8-1. So, you know, you got $10 you want to lose, you can go ahead and put it on Delgado. Or just give me $10 and I'll give you back $5 and you'll think you won something. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway, please comment, rate, subscribe. And as always, Bigragu, I'm out.